All right, so I want to make some contributions to the conversation going on with Peter, Paul, Jude thing. I've heard a lot of things about it, and what I see here is this: Peter is very scared. Peter is good, but he's scared of the future of his career, knowing that he knows that the combination of he and his brother is extremely powerful and can deliver the kind of numbers he's looking for. Paul, on the other hand, is doesn't really care. Paul is whatever happens, happen, and I'm not doing so badly for myself. I have about 300 million views on YouTube, something that is even bigger than all the views we had when we were together. And then I'm cool, I'm fine. But and 2 million plus subscribers on YouTube. So Paul is, to him, is fine. If you look at it, he's not really interested in the P square thing coming back thing. He's not. Jude has his own problem. Jude has a lot of flaws. Peter has a lot of flaws. Paul has a lot of flaws. I mean, they all have their issues. However, Peter took advantage of the fact that Jude has a lot of issues. Even Jude's elder brother is coming out to say that he's a bad person, because Jude has a lot of issues. So Peter is just taking advantage of the fact that the guy has issues. But that does not mean that Peter is a saint. Peter has exaggerated a lot of times in his stories. By the time you check and you can only know this if you are someone who is very good with reading in between the lines, hearing what people are saying, even when they're not saying it, being able to see what is not even shown on the outside. You're able to see behind the curtain. That's when you will see what I'm telling you right now. You can't tell me that Peter didn't have a hand in a lot of the things that went down. He has a lot of faults as well. But you really see him pointing out his faults in his episodes. That is not good. That is a sign that he's afraid of something. He must have lost in court for him to come out and then want a class action, public sympathy, because that's the only thing available right now. He has done defamation beyond repair in a way that is so bad that the ruling that will happen to him is most likely going to incur more losses, and he had to pay damages to Jude and to Paul. The case is still in court, meaning that the court have not decided who is at fault. But considering the way it's looking at the what's it called, the hearings and the proceedings that have happened in court, it has shown that he has overstepped, and he has vehemently claimed that Jude and Paul shared $800,000 which he does not have proof for. So that alone it says a lot about other things that he has said. So what's going to happen now is that the public will keep on loving him like they are doing right now. The public will embrace him, love him, kiss him, call him for birthday parties, call him for morning devotion, call him for all kinds of shows. But it's just for some time. It's another issue will come up and then this whole thing will die off. Peter, if you can hear this, if anybody can tell Peter this, I want to let you know that this is not what you need. No. This is not the solution. The public can't give you the kind of money you are looking for. Yes, they have increased your subscribers on YouTube. That's not the money you are looking for. The kind of money that will match your lifestyle, the way you have raised your lifestyle, you need serious money. Let me ask you a question, Peter. As I was, thinking and doing my analysis in my head, I thought about it and say, hey, if you don't believe me that the reason Peter is going about all these things because he's scared of the future of his career, ask yourself this question. If Peter was making the kind of money that Burna Boy is making, do you think he'll be coming out to do all these episodes? Yeah. So he's doing all this episode because he did everything in his power to create this new song. I Can't Look Away, and the kind of numbers he was expecting, he's not seeing it. And he does not know when that will come again. His strength is in administration. His strength is not in creating music. His strength is organizing, managing, making sure that there is a teamwork. He's very good with teamwork. His strength is, Rude Boy is very good with solo, doing it on his own. He's very good. He has a lot of hit songs, more than Peter, even after their breakup, because he's really good. But one thing I also remember in my analysis is that these guys are very talented, but apologies, they are not the emotional maturity that they should have. They don't have it yet. It takes a lot of emotional maturity to handle the kind of empire that they run, and they don't have that. And that's why they would not be able to come back until they first of all have that. Peter wants to make a lot of money. If you look at, to back up my analysis on what Peter is actually doing, the goal of Peter is to rack in as much money as possible. He just wants to make more money. And then he knows that it's not going to happen in the courts, through courts, because he has messed up in the courts. And then even if he hasn't, well, based on the fact that he has a lot of things that are not evidential, he can't back up some of his claims. What will happen is that the case will not go in his favor. And then that means he and his brother can't come back. And not just that, what's it called? He is looking at the ceiling of where his career will keep on bouncing back at. And he's like, no, let me do something. And the other thing is, what he's doing right now is that if I can't have it, nobody should have it. Or what's the other word for that is that let's just spoil everything. So if you look at all this while, the reason he has been keeping quiet is because he's hoping that something can happen that will bring them back. Because at the time when they were together, they create a lot of magic. You see, he knows that their togetherness is fire. That separation does not favor him. So if you look at it as well, he rarely writes against or speak against his brother. It's more about Jude, because Jude is someone who doesn't care. Jude is about let me just get whatever I want and then get out. Peter is very what's the word now? He's very desperate right now. So the desperation drives him to say anything to get people to get what's the word now? To get people's attention. Some of the things he's saying are true, some are not true. So instead of to say, hey, I lied here, I'm sorry. Instead of to say, I exaggerated here, I'm sorry. Or this one did not happen, I just assume it happened, I'm sorry. And then you separate the truth from the fiction, the facts from what is not, from the myth and the assumptions. He doesn't want to do that. Okay? And the reason he doesn't want to do that is because there's no emotional maturity. The emotional stamina to do that is not there. And then even Rude Boy as well, the emotional maturity to say, hey, yes, you have been hurt and all that. Let's squash whatever has happened and let's clean the slate and start all over again. Paul don't have that. Then Jude is worse on that. Jude is mine is just to get money and I don't care what happens to anybody. Jude don't care about anybody, whether it is Peter or Paul. Jude is not interested. Jude is interested in what is interested. That's why you see him bringing his wife into the business and just amassing as much money as he can. That's Jude's mentality. That's Jude. That's what I'm saying in this whole matter. Paul don't care who is stealing. Paul can see you stealing. So far he is having his own money. He doesn't care. He doesn't care whether Paul is not looking, he's not the type that looks out for Peter. Peter looks out for everybody. But Paul is not the type that look out for, why are you cheating this guy? You're not giving him what you're supposed to give him. You're not being fair to him. Paul don't care about all that. Why? Because Paul have this mentality. Whether we are together or not, I'm fine. And I'm going to always be fine. Because I'm that good. And that's it. He's that good. So, Peter is looking for all the ways to gather whatever he can gather. And the only thing is, you thought about that is that, you know what? If I can't win in court, I can't have my brother, I can't have the money that they've stolen back. At least let me just have people's love. So that when I go to occasion, events, everybody will hug me, kiss me. Oh, we love you. And then they will vilify Jude, like what's happening right now. This is his end game. And you see him soaking in the whole thing. His Zip Republic, where he's selling cap and shoe and clothing outfits and clothing Disney online. He has put someone there to be bombing and be selling like crazy. So people are buying his shirt, buying his his face cap, and then he's reposting everybody's reaction, all the memes on his story, and like, hey, like this is my moment. This is what he wants to get. You don't see someone who is making billions of dollars having time for all that. You don't see Whiskey doing that, or Davido or Burna Boy. You reposting, your story is filled with all kinds of people using your music. Like, I'm not saying that you should not celebrate that, but you have the time for all that. It's almost as if you don't know who you are, or you're not sure who you are. Then you need people to help to tell you. You need public validation. That's what I see here. You are basking in the euphoria of I'm the one everybody loves. My uncle, my elder brother, and my twin brother, they are the bad person, but me, I'm the saint. You're not a saint. You have a lot of things as well that you are not. You left out a lot of other things in that your story. You left out a lot of things. One of the things you left out is that why is it that you have to wait this long? That's one of the things you left out. And I know the answer. The answer is that you don't want things to get too spoiled. You're not. See, Peter is not interested in things getting spoiled. Why? Because he knows how. He was the one that more or less like is the engine room of P Square. Paul is his artist. He is like the real manager. Jude is just like the brother that was there for them at a time, and then they had to, bring him in and be like, okay, good, so far the money is there, let's just share it. And they did not think that they are going to go this far. They didn't think that they are going to go this big. So that is another thing. So sometimes when you are doing something, always leave room for what if this thing goes big, but nobody knows that anyway. Sometimes you think some things will go big, they will not go big. The one that you think will not go big, well, will not, that's just life for you. So they fell into that, sign an MOU that they will share the money equally among them. And that is a lot. So that's my submission on this. Yeah.